Finru here, how you doing? Baxter, go. Get out of here. Go on, get out of here. Go on. Good boy. Go on, out you go. Waiting to be fed, as usual. Here's me talking. Cheers, welcome to Happy Homebrew Wednesday number 10. Just got some new dimple glasses. Very nice. $1 for 4. Now what I'm pouring here is my my Morrigan's Banshee Bitter. It's been on tap for about 3 weeks, but as you probably know, I haven't been drinking for a month, so it's been sitting there. So I completed the. I hope you're all doing fine. I've recovered from a horrendous head cold. Serves me right for giving up drinking for the month, but never mind. I actually quite enjoyed the experience. A month without drinking, it taught me some weird, some weird things that I thought about. How I reacted to breaking a habit. So anyway, cheers. This is the Morrigan's Banshee Bitter. This is what I brewed with my fresh hops. So there's Cascade and Fuggles in this. But I also, cheers, welcome along. Yeah, that really like that. That's really one of my favourite beers. And my fresh hops make it even better. So what happened on the day, it was a pretty uneventful brew day until my neighbour whistled out, and we went out there and we were having a bit of a chat, and I was coming up to the 20-minute mark to put my hops in, and that 20-minute mark normally is my yeast nutrient as well as my Irish moss and a fair amount of flavouring hops at the 20-minute mark. And we're out there talking, and he said to me, "What's that beeping noise coming from your garage?" And I went, "I don't know." I don't know. "Oh yes I do." I said, that's my timer gone, I'll have to go and put my hops in." He said, "Righto." So I came back in the door here and grabbed the first bag of hops that I saw and threw them in. It's the wrong bag. It was that was the 10-minute bag, or the 5-minute bag, whatever it was, of hops. And the other bag of hops that was supposed to go in at 20 minutes, of course that had all the yeast nutrient and the Irish moss in there, so I had to put it in. So I thought, oh bugger it, I'll put it in. Extra hops is not going to hurt. So I put it in, set the timer for another 15 minutes. I thought, what am I going to put in at 5 or 10 minutes? I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. And I went and got some, I had some Northern Brewer hops left over from when I did the Old Peculiar, and so I put those hops in, and at 5 minutes, and I put how much did I put in? About 70 grams, because that's what I had left after using 30 of it, and I put that in, and I can really taste that hops are there, but it's in at the 5, so it's not at the 5-minute mark, so it's not the flavour of hasn't gone overboard. But one thing about it. That I've noticed, and that's a really nice beer, is we've always sort of said that, you know, use pellet hops when you're using fresh hops. Use the pellet hops for your bittering, because you're not going to know what the bittering is. And that's fair enough, you don't. But if you try it, if you use it, and make a note in your book about, you know, when you put in, I don't know, 20 grams or 50 grams, I think it was, of Fuggles, what the bittering is actually like, and then kind of look at the other hop additions that you did, and even though the bittering is minimal as you get closer towards the end of your boil, there's still a wee bit going on. So it pays to sort of make a note of that, so you can actually use your fresh hops for your bittering. So that's what I've done. I'm going to make a note of that. This is a wee bit bitter. I don't know what the IBUs were. It doesn't really matter. If I think it's the right amount, then I'll just put it down spot on, or could do with a bit more or a bit less or whatever. But the aroma is beautiful on this, and it's cleared up quite nicely. Beautiful beer. Really happy with it. Cheers once again. Yeah, really, really nice. So tomorrow is brew day. Tomorrow I'm just doing my stock standard Tired Bastard. my mild, but this time I haven't forgotten to put the light chocolate in the recipe. So what I've got is 3.5 kg of Gladfield's Ale Malt, 350 grams of light crystal, 200 grams of brown malt, 200 grams of roast wheat malt, and 200 grams of light chocolate. It should come in at around 4.2%. I'm going to use 1 packet of yeast. I bought 2. What I normally do is, if I'm brewing like a brew like this where it's about 4%, it's 1 packet. But as soon as I start pushing the 5% mark, then definitely I'm going to be going in for two packets. And for sure, if I'm brewing anything 6% and over, I am definitely going to make a starter for it. And especially, I'm keen next month, or my next brew, to do another version of Old Finn. Old Finn took out a gold medal, if you remember, a few years back in the NJBC National Brewing Competition here in New Zealand, and so that was named after my old golden retriever, Finn, who we miss deeply, or greatly, and so that's all right. So I want to do that, but I want to make like a really strong ale, a really strong, either an imperial stout or an old ale, up around the 8-9%, a 9% imperial stout maybe. But in that case, just remember, guys, if you're going to do these big beers, you got to do a starter. Definitely recommend a starter. Otherwise, and plenty of aeration too. Aerate your wort on pitching, because it needs, obviously it's an anaerobic. No, it's not. It's an aerobic process, so it needs plenty of oxygen. So when I make that beer, I'm really going to shake up that barrel and get plenty of oxygen into it. And the starter there'll be plenty of oxygen in the starter as well. So that should be really good. I'm looking forward to doing that, and I'll bottle condition it so I can put it away, because obviously I don't want a keg of beer that's sort of 9%. Anyway, dry July. So my neighbour's wife said to me, I took her over a bottle of the cider, and she said, I might have told you this last time. And I said, I'd like to do, she said, we're doing dry. I said, well, I'd like to do dry July too. I think I could do dry July, why not? That's right, and I did say to you last time, I felt no better and no worse. I lost a couple of kg, maybe more closer to 3 kilo I lost. And I had no anxiety, which is a lot for me, no anxiety about not having a drink. It wasn't a problem, it wasn't an issue. In fact, at the Buddhist Centre, I know they're having a thing coming November, they call it No November. So if you think you've got a bit of a bad habit, not that I think that what I do is a bad habit, I'm all for enjoying my brewing and enjoying a beer 100%. Love it, love it. But just for a bit of a break, just to, I mean, I've just said that it didn't make any difference to me, so why would I take a break? I don't know. It was just cool. It was just cool to know that I'm not up to my neck in, alcohol and beer. But I mostly just drink beer, and I'll drink a bit of whiskey and that nothing else, no wine, nothing like that. So that was great. Yeah, so that's what I learnt. I actually thought that I might struggle a little bit with it, and a lot of people say, oh, I wouldn't be able to do it. Well, you probably would be able to do it if you gave it a go and didn't overthink it and just carried on with your life. I was out here, I wasn't brewing, but I was out here mucking around with my gear and mucking about with my little bar area, which I'm really happy with, coming along nicely. So anyway, before I head away, I've still got Roy's beers to try. I'll write the Tired Bastard recipe in the description. I'm going to get better at doing that. So I've got my grains over here. I've got my Fuggles hops. I'll only be using 1 packet, probably only half of 1 packet. I've got my yeast. Got everything else. So that's about it. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about. Yeah, so the Morrigan's Benchy Bitter is wonderful. The keg's full. Dry July was great. Yeah, brewing Tired Bastard tomorrow. Oh, and A shout out to Tube Dino's. He's been doing a great job reviewing some of Roy's beers that he sent up. Now, Roy's very generous with his beers, sending them round. And he sent them up north, and I thought that I'll put a link below as well. You can go and have a look at Dino's reviews on Roy's beers. I'm not very good at doing reviews, so Dino's pretty cool at it. So he's got a very laid back demeanour and comes across very cool and thinks about what he's doing rather than rip shit and bust. Okay, so I'm going to go now and enjoy the rest of this beer. So once again, happy Homebrew Wednesday number 10. Cheers, brew on everybody, and you take care. Cheers. Ooh.